Fine, since you are begging, I do believe that Donald Trump is intimidated. I think you're
Okay,
begging.
no interruption.
So let me just answer that. I do appreciate you begging. So I will just say it like this, that the president has always been intimidated by the intellectual prowess of black men. And so, of course, he would speak in those petite and puerile terms.
Hello wonderful good people, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. For those who are new here, I'm Marvin, and please and kindly feel free to hit the subscribe icon below and follow my page. If you find this video of essence and of value, you can as well share to your family and friends. Also, don't forget to like this video. On today's episode, our focus will be in Washington DC in America, where Trump instructed the National Guard to take over the streets in DC. The police department in Washington DC was clearly taken over by the National Guard, meaning the National Guard was the one to be at the top of the security chain in Washington DC. With the first video we have just watched, we can clearly hear the Mayor Johnson stating that Trump is at a high jealousy rate of black people and black politicians in Washington DC. That's why he is doing such a move to target the black American community. The mayor clearly says Trump is jealous for black excellence of people like me, a mayor. Why would Trump try to get jealous of black people in Washington DC? Trump clearly is stating that the security system in Washington DC is at a high rise, and reports say in a lifespan of 30 years ago, the crime rate in Washington DC has reduced. But Trump is clearly insisting that crime rate in Washington DC is at a high because of the black Americans who are residing over there, mainly the homeless people who are there. This statement should not come out of our president. He is trying to embarrass the people who are living in Washington DC, where the White House is situated. Washington DC being the capital city of America, black people also reside over there. In this episode, we are going to discuss how this move by Trump to try and bad image the black American community during the first raid of the National Guard. In the White House social media, it is only the black people who are present in the page. No non-black who is present. It is only the black people who are portrayed there. It is believed this is a move trying to embarrass the black American community, saying they are the people who are contributing to the insecurity in Washington DC. Trump could have just come forward and say, I don't like the numbers of people who are in Washington DC, that's why I need to reduce the number of black Americans who are here, instead of trying to find ways to backlight those who are living there, specifically the black American community. The black American community is not a community who are in such a desperate means of trying to bring down the economy in Washington DC by stealing from others. Trump clearly isn't backing down anytime soon. Let's watch the following videos and come back at the end and support the subject matter. Let's stay step by step. Let's watch step by step and come back at the end. Thank you.
Hey y'all, so earlier today, I made a video talking about the police presence in black neighborhoods in DC and the targeting of those neighborhoods. And within that, I had a clip, and there was a guy, and he was talking about all the presence that was out there. So he's like, oh, DEA, the police. He goes, HSI, and he seemed as if he didn't know what HSI was. So fast forward, I just see a video from DL Hughley, and it's more footage in that same, area, same neighborhood. And the cops pull up. Whatever agency the guy was from, I don't know, but he pulls up, and he's like asking questions. And so the black guy's kind of like, well, why are you here? Did somebody call you? And the law enforcement official goes, well, you haven't been watching the news. You don't know kind of what's going on. And the guy's like, no. And he goes, oh, well, President Trump is tired of the crime, so he's sending us out, in the neighborhoods or whatever. And when the guy was like, no, he didn't know what was going on, no, he didn't watch the news, it kind of it really just bothered me, because we've got to do better. And I'm speaking to black people and black people only. So if you're not black, please don't come my comments with no answers or no comments. If your comment isn't, if you ain't supporting what I'm saying and you ain't black, don't come in here with that mess, because I ain't trying to do that today. So it was upsetting because we have to do better. And the fact that the first guy didn't know who HSI was, second guy didn't even know why they were there, even though it had been talked about day before on socials. He did a whole press conference talking about what he was planning. He didn't know why they were even there. Guy smoking a cigarette on the porch. Cop proceeds to tell him, like, you're not even supposed to be smoking. I mean, thankfully the cop was pretty nice and was trying to do some explaining, but it's pretty scary when y'all don't know what's going on and you're already breaking a law by smoking outside, which is a ridiculous law. However, when they're looking for a reason to come and get you, they gonna take any reason. And he got lucky that it was a guy who was like, kind of like, well, you're not supposed to do that out here, and kind of let it go. Because some of these cops are extremely overzealous and are waiting for any reason. Trump literally said in his press conference, he told the police they can do whatever they want, which means they have carte blanche to pop off anybody. So we have to do better as a people. We have to be watching the news, paying attention, and know what's going on, because no one is coming to save us. And when we are ignorant to the laws, ignorant to our rights, ignorant to what's going on, it only puts us in more of a place of harm. The bottom line is, I understand everybody wasn't raised watching the news. You know, my household, between 5 and 7, 8 o'clock, that's all you was going to see. I mean, it just was non-negotiable, and it was going to be every night. So, of course, that made me be someone who I will go look at news sources. And I understand people may not have all been raised that way. However, we all have smartphones. You all have information at your fingertips. And if we can get on these stupid blogs and these gossip sites and everything else and talk about stuff, you can actually also use that phone to find information and make sure you are not getting put into situations that are harmful to you. There's no reason you can't have a news outlet, even if it's your local news station, as one of the people you're following, and see what's going on in the world. We have to know what's going on, because had y'all been prepared, you would have known they were coming to y'all neighborhood. Instead, they popped up on y'all, or you would at least been cautiously looking to see, and they popped up on y'all and then ended up taking, I want to say, between 10 and 25, I don't remember the number, people to jail. So, black people, we have to do better. We have to read books. We've got to watch news. We've got to know what's going on in the world. We have to vote. We have to do these things, and we've got to make the right decisions when we're voting. We've got to be aware so that we can protect ourselves. Because one thing I don't want to see is, because he's doing this, we now have people being innocently, that are innocent, being unalived. We don't need this. And when you give certain people carte blanche, they run with it.
Oh, but sit down, there's more. I'm on a roll tonight. Let's talk about the Trump administration placing the images of black men on the White House social media pages. So the Trump administration has just crossed another line, posting the mugshots of arrested black men on the official White House social media pages. Not one white man, not one non-black face. Did you know about that? Let's be clear. This isn't about transparency or public safety. This is about controlling the narrative. And I've been talking about that this week on social media, how they are allowing the media to be controlled about what you see, controlled about what you hear about, controlled about what you learn. We're literally having to say things like, what was that word that I've been hearing, or that phrase? Music festival? What about that one? Or what about the purses? You couldn't even say the other word again because you just may get suppressed. So let's be clear. It's about stoking fear and feeding into the age-old racist stereotype that black people are inherently criminal or dangerous. Because remember, this is the same guy that took out a 4-page ad on 4 innocent young black men. Yeah, that same guy. So this isn't a new tactic, folks. We already know that. This is not new. We're used to this. We already know how this is going to go. And here's the thing. We're going to have to watch very carefully how the media plays this out, because guess what? If you think he's not controlling the media, think again. I guarantee you this entire conversation that we're having right now won't even get 3,000 views. It won't even get 300. Because my information and other people who provide news and journalistic commentary and content is being suppressed. All right. Let's get back into it, shall we? Hang on just a second. So here's what they're doing. This is not about the concept that this is new, because we all know that it is not. This is about continuing to work on the continuous stereotype of the black male in this country, right? It's used to justify over policing. It's also used to talk about mass incarceration, because we already know what that's all about, right? You remember the 13th Amendment, and you do know what that's about. Right? Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure. And that violent targeting of our communities for decades, that ain't new either. There's more. So by pushing these images out to the public on the White House page, that must make it real, right? That's got to make it real. Here's what's happening. They're shaping the perception and telling the nation who to fear. They want old white ladies to continue to clutch their purses in public and lock their doors, justifying future crackdowns. That's what they're doing too. I want you to understand that this is actually planting the seed that an increase in police and military presence in black neighborhoods is necessary. And they're distracting you guys from the systemic failure that we're all witnessing right now. You ever thought about that? You ever thought about what that means? So they're masking policy failures with the mess that we are seeing right now. Washington, D.C.'s crime rate is the lowest it's been in almost 30 years. It's down another 26%. The data and the numbers don't lie. But here's the issue. History is absolutely repeating itself. So this mirrors the exact same propaganda campaigns used to target Latinx and immigrant communities. And we're seeing that in real time, where they're just going around and they're just picking up folks. Doesn't matter who it is. We just go pick them up. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. Yeah. Now the focus is on black communities. And y'all, we have said that on social media. We have continued to say that on social media. From the beginning, we knew that our communities were next. Now, here's the end game. It's going to be expanded racial profiling. We already see that. Okay? Higher rates of police violence, without a word being said, and further erosion of our civil rights. You ever thought about that too? Because it's coming. Here's the reason why you should be alarmed and you should be hot as fish grease. Here's what starts with selective mugshot posts that don't end there. Here's the issue. You're going to continue to see it. How dare you place their faces on there? But then this is the same administration that has somebody working their social media, and they're thinking that it's funny to go ahead and put images and video of people who are literally flipping out over what's happening with this current administration. So they're going to normalize racial bias, but we're not new to that, right? Desensitize the public. That's already been done, right? To disproportionate arrests and police violence. But see, that's already been done. Paving the way for harsher laws targeting specific communities under the guise of quote unquote safety. Because, we've seen it before. Now, what we can't do is ignore what's happening, okay? We do understand that the shift was always there. They're just bringing it to the forefront for everybody to see more and more and more. But again, y'all, this is not new information to this community, my black community, my black brothers and sisters. We already know what's up. Here's our call to action. Transparency. Full racial breakdowns of arrests, not selective publicity. Accountability. Demand answers from elected officials who remain silent. And we're seeing a whole hell of a lot of that, aren't we? And here's something else. Community defense. Support local advocacy groups documenting racial profiling and fighting back in courts and councils. Listen, racial profiling and police violence are about to spike, not just in DC. They're just making it quote unquote okay to do it. You should be made aware now if you have not already been. And here's the thing. If you have young black men in your home, if you have black men that you love, that you honor, that you respect, just know that we need to have those conversations with our young black men again. Mothers, daughters, sisters, grandmothers, aunties, just know. And it's not just about the black man, it's about the black folks, period. This is just a wake-up call. I will say this. Black folks, this is what you voted for. For those that were excited about this. You see how the press and you just get up in front of everybody and you just tell people what you want them to know and what to believe. And we believe it. How you feel about that? Because the next wave of policies are not done coming down. And you should be absolutely furious. But the question is, what you gonna do?
If you're still here with me, God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the Black American community against the white supremacists who are trying to bring down the Black American community. And congratulations to you for being here with me. What's your take with the videos we have just watched? What's your clear intake in this? Is this a clear and transparent move by Trump to try and to bad light the Black American image in Washington, D.C.? Clearly, no white, no other race is being discriminated other than the Black American community. They are portrayed in the White House social media page where they are being caught with a caption saying, "These are the criminals we have in hand." Trump clearly doesn't like Black Americans at all. He feels threatened by their supremacy. Also, the mayors who are around there clearly don't agree and don't support Trump's move to bring in the National Guard to try and surpass the police department in New York. Crime rates in Washington, D.C., where the White House is situated, probably this is not a good statement at all. Where the White House is placed, clearly security needs to be at the top. Security measures are in place and in order, but Trump is clearly having this move so that he can bring down the Black American community down. The police who were sent in Washington, D.C., the National Guard, clearly they are targeting the Black American community in Black American neighborhood over there. Black Americans are not people who are aggressive. They don't respond to matters of the way Trump is saying, but they have clearly approached this move in such a manner that they know we are being targeted. That's why we need to play the victim and stay silent and don't create and don't react in such a manner that it will bring chaos in Washington, D.C. Trump also, on the other hand, clearly is not backing down anytime soon. He wants the Black American community dead. With the deportations, I believe it will soon be Black Americans, but this war will not come to pass because Black Americans are origins of that in America. They cannot be deported because they were brought there by the slaves, and they are the parents. Their parents are slaves who were brought there in the 1980s and 90s and 80s. Clearly, Trump is not a good president at all. He needs to come up with measures to bring up the economy in the United States instead of focusing on only one state, Washington, D.C., where his residence is. Trump also needs to lay down measures to cut down security system in Washington, D.C. instead of trying to focus on the Black American community. He should also focus on the white community because they are the ones also bringing in crime rates in America. I'll keep you posted. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and on the next episode I will clearly and I will humbly put you up to date on what's happening in Washington, D.C. Let's engage. I will humbly respond to your comments. See you on the next episode, family. Take care and goodbye.